So, honored students, guests, and members of faculty. My name is Sahar Valizadeh, and it is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the Faculty of Social Sciences 2022. Before we move forward with the festivities, I have been assigned the responsibility to remind you of some practicalities. Phones are welcome, but need to be on silent and no vibration. And if by chance nature calls, restrooms can be found 2 floors down. Please check where you have the closest emergency exit in case it will be needed. There are 2 doors in the back, 1 door in the front, and oxygen mask will fall down in case of emergency. That's my husband's joke. He's going to be thrilled. I'm sorry to say that there are no life jackets under your seats. But I'm happy to say that we're here to celebrate the achievements of these minds that stand before us. A group brave enough to put their faith, time, and effort into education while much of the world stood absolutely still and in parts paralyzed in the spring of 2020. You looked at that situation and thought, no, this is not going to stop me. And you went on and you did it. You stand here not only as another graduating class, but as the graduating class that got through it despite new pedagogic methods, new technical strategies, and new ways of social life. And still, you succeeded. Some of you even applied for internships, got them, and carried them out digitally. I think that makes you a unique and honestly amazing bunch of people, and I'm convinced that you can and will draw from this experience as you move forward in your lives and careers and experience new and unforeseen challenges. Being in this hall is very special to me. I have walked through it in different times of my life and in different roles. As a graduating student, many years ago, as administrative staff, as a prize winner, and now as your master of ceremony. But the most important role I have right now is as a parent to my little girl, Eva, who's about to experience her first ceremony as a first grader in a few days' time. As her mother, I am so proud of her achievements, and feeling the buzz around this room before the ceremony even started, I think we can all feel and sense the pride and love from all the people that have followed your journey and who have made their way here today, or who have logged on YouTube to follow the ceremony streamed online. I would therefore like to take this moment and read you one of my favorite poems. It's by Lebanese poet Khalil Gibran from his book, The Poet, and it's titled On Children. I think it beautifully captures part of what we're collectively experiencing here today. While the poem is about parenting, I think to some extent it can also be applied to what we provide as an institution of higher education. We are here to guide and support you and to challenge you, but ultimately, nothing makes us more proud than you forming your own thoughts and going out in the world and finding your own way. So here it goes. So they ask, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backwards, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. And the archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrow may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he also loves the bow that is stable. So before you leave this hall as arrows flying into the future, I would like to ask you not to hurry too much, at least not in the next hour. So enjoy this now, this moment, which is your moment. So with that being said, please join me in welcoming my dear friend, the Pro Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor Agnes Andersson-Jufelt.
Dear graduates, family, friends, and faculty, it is my privilege and pleasure to be here today. And it's so wonderful to see you all here in Lund. Last year we did this over Zoom, which was not quite the same thing. So I'm very happy to be welcoming you here today to our ceremony, or to this ceremony. I would like you to take yourself back to your very first day as master students at the Faculty of Social Sciences here at Lund University. Maybe you recall excitement, slight nervousness, or a combination of both. Or maybe you felt something else. Thinking back to yourself on that last day of August 2020, you will, however, probably recognize that you have grown at a personal level through the friendships you have formed, the relationships you have cultivated with other students and faculty, and even the town of Lund or Helsingborg itself, or themselves. You have also, of course, developed academically and intellectually over the past 2 years of graduate study. The coursework you have done, culminating in your thesis defenses over the past week, has all in some ways been leading up to this particular point. The point where you will very, very soon be able to call yourself master's level graduates of Lund University. This has no doubt not been smooth sailing, however. Your student cohort has been profoundly affected by the pandemic, and there may have been times when you have felt isolated, confused, and unhappy, perhaps especially if your family and loved ones have been far away from Skåne and Sweden. Your accomplishments in the light of these challenges are remarkable, and we as a faculty are very proud of your achievements. But allow me once again to take you back to that last day of August, nearly 2 years ago. In the US, where Donald Trump was still president, the Black Lives Matter movement was protesting against the shooting of Jacob Blake by a Kenosha police officer a week earlier. Lebanon had, in the aftermath of the massive explosion in the port earlier in the summer, newly elected a president. And in Belarus, peaceful protests were being carried out against the regime. Closer to Lund and Helsingborg, Danish airspace was violated by Russian military aircraft. Meanwhile, the Swedish public health authorities were setting up criteria for prioritizing certain patient groups for COVID vaccines that were anticipated to reach the healthcare system in this, the richest part of the world, by the end of that year. The world was different in some ways, but depressingly, a lot was also very similar. Social and environmental injustices were present, as were the global and local differences in access to basic sanitation, healthcare, and human rights. Arguably, other even more perilous challenges have arisen during your time here at Lund University. Most recently, and perhaps clearly, the war in Ukraine, with its direct costs on human life and well-being, but also its violent repercussions in terms of restrictions on democratic freedoms and the specter of a global food crisis. Climate change-related emergencies have abounded in forest fires as well as flooding in many parts of the world. Heat records have been consistently broken, most recently in Delhi just the other week. The consequences of these events are, as always, most profoundly felt by those who are the most vulnerable. Nonetheless, the management of the pandemic has also shown the possibilities that arise when states, policymakers, private enterprises, and individuals pull together as a whole and use their capacities, wisdom, and cohesion to devise solutions. Your perseverance in completing your studies is therefore not the only or even the most important cause for celebration today. We should recognize that your generation of graduates is perhaps the most sorely needed in these turbulent times, but you're also the bearers of hope and knowledge. As you leave Lund University, you bring with you a world-class education from a truly global university, committed to addressing the societal challenges faced by the world today. As a social scientist, you are equipped with the tools needed to understand and analyze the multiple complexities related to, for instance, disinformation, armed conflicts, gendered hierarchies, political systems, and environmental trade-offs. In short, the world awaits you, but the world also needs you. I would like to congratulate you all on your academic accomplishments today, but also to encourage you to put your knowledge into good use in society as a whole, through using your courage, compassion, and empathy. Your fortitude during the pandemic has brought you here today, and I'm convinced that it will serve you well also in the daunting but rewarding tasks ahead of you. Before then, I would like you to wish you all, including the staff who are present here today and the faculty members seated here in the front row, who also are very much part of your achievements. I would like to wish you all a wonderful summer with a lot of well-deserved rest, relaxation, and maybe even some fun. So, well done all. Have a nice summer.
Thank you, Agnes. As the tradition goes, each year we have students and staff nominate a student to hold a speech on behalf of the student group. The nomination can be based on character, outstanding academic performance, or other achievements. This year's nominee has been nominated because, and I read the nomination now, she has been a great contributor to making the past 2 years enjoyable for her co-students and teachers alike. She spread positivity, joy, and academic engagement in the group, and always participated in making the discussions lively and at a high academic standard. Even through the challenging corona period with online teaching, the classroom was made participatory and engaging with her contribution. She has been a central part of advancing the academic level and curiosity and the positive social environment in the class. Please join me in welcoming Alena Kalle to the stage. You're welcome.
I hope you can hear me. I'm a bit too tall for the stand. Thank you so much for those kind words. I'm truly humbled, and my speech is going to pick up on a couple of the cringy things that were just said about me. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to start with a fun fact. If we were graduating from Oxford right now, we would be showered with whipped cream, milk, and other very disgusting substances. So I, for one, I'm pretty happy that we're graduating from Lund University and not Oxford. And on that note, congratulations to all of us. I am not that good at being funny on command, so what I'll try to do instead is be honest. And I hope that what I'm going to say is going to be meaningful to you, because I hope that it can bring all of us together even more, even though we're leaving. We're graduating, as our dean just told us, at times of absolute uncertainty. COVID-19 is not completely over unless there is vaccine justice, and we are in the middle of a mass extinction event and a climate crisis, which is causing famines, flooding, mass displacement, and wars. And all of you in this room here today have an incredibly important role to play. Political scientists, you are needed to reckon with the extreme global challenges that we're facing. You in European affairs, you're needed to invest in a union that sees peace as an imperative. Welfare policy analysts, you are needed to ensure that we have strong safety nets that recognize the inherent dignity of people. all of you who've studied service management, you are needed to make sure that we remain people-oriented. And those with a degree in sociology of law, to which I am now excited to be able to count myself, we absolutely need to question the laws that exist today and make sure that they work for all people. And most importantly, we all need to work together. And we need to take each other's insights seriously. One thing that I've really learned from living here in Lund is what democratic participation is like. I mean, I'm from Germany, we have a lot of great thinkers that we've all read about in class, but what I mean is that in Lund, for the first time, I have really experienced what it's like to be democratic, to have the rights of a democracy. On the one hand, yeah, I've participated in way too many protests probably that have been pushing the limits of the permissible, but what I mean is that I've got to know the tradition, the Swedish tradition of participatory learning. Sweden has an educational system in which the progress of the class depends on everyone being on board. There is no race to the top between individuals because we all depend on each other. In a world in which we are constantly pitted against each other, that is truly revolutionary. Lund University, and I really hope that you've had the same experiences, has welcomed us with an approach that values love and growing and reflection. And in my gratitude diary last year, I wrote down that I was extremely grateful that our lecturer told us to take a weekend off and go for a walk in nature. That is such a healthy environment, and I am truly grateful because this should be the norm, and I hope that we can make it that. Now, this doesn't mean that Sweden is perfect. I could have made my entire speech about why Sweden is greenwashing and why the aura is kind of deceiving, but hey, we're here to celebrate, so whatever. What I mean is that by being at Lund University, we may have been seeing the glimpses of what we need to do to make this world a place worth living in. If we combine our knowledge from these tiny glimpses, we can do it. And I want to end by citing another graduation speech by Gloria Steinem, leader of the feminist movement in the US, and it's a speech from 1970, but it still stands incredibly relevant today. She said, "The first problem for all of us is not to learn, but to unlearn, because we are filled with the popular wisdom of several centuries just past. I don't need to tell you all what lies ahead of us. You know that better than I do. But what I will only say is that my heart goes out with you, and I hope we will be working together. Thank you."
Thank you, Elena, for such a passionate speech. Next up in our celebration is a special honorary award given each year to the best two master's theses in the subject service management. Please join me in welcoming Elin Bromenell, lecturer at the Department of Service Management and Services. Welcome to the stage. Well, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So.
And the certificate.
Yes.
As a program representative of the Department of Service Management, I'm very proud to announce that not one but two theses have been given the honorary award today. The first one asks why small and medium-sized enterprises engaged in climate action. Using legitimacy theory and based on a solid series of semi-structured interviews, it shows how owners of small and medium-sized enterprises are driven by a strong internal moral compass when making decisions about climate work. The analysis demonstrates that resource constraints are best overcome through collaboration with other local actors. The findings have clear theoretical, practical, and political implications. Overall, it's a very well-crafted thesis with exceptional coherence. The title of the first thesis is Local Climate Collaboration as a Strategy to Reduce Emissions, the SME Owner-Manager's Perspective, written by Mia Blatancic and Alexander Curtean. Please join me on the stage. Please stay on the stage. You will also receive your certificates. I have told you that it's easy to be excellent. You just surround yourself with excellent people, which is what I'm doing at the moment. The second thesis, or would you like to give them perhaps the motivation? The jury's motivation. The second thesis investigates the task force on climate-related financial disclosures, a model developed within technical finance and used by firms in their sustainability reports. The thesis makes this complex model both understandable and engaging. Risk theory is used in a skillful way to make a document analysis of aviation companies' understanding of their own operations in relation to climate change. The research question is timely. The research design is elegant, with a good choice of empirical material and overall a creative and original thesis that contributes with new knowledge about a key issue of our times. The title of the thesis is Latest Developments in Sustainability Reporting, How the TCFD Framework Shapes the Understanding of Climate Risks, written by Andrea Neago. Show your flowers to the photographer.
Why don't you come and stand in the middle so that you can have a photo? Congratulations. Now it's time for us to take a moment to enjoy some more music performed by Hanna Blomberg on violin and Solomon Jakobsson on guitar. They play Swedish folk music, and what we're going to listen to now is Polska. Yes, please, welcome. Thank you. Now we have reached the part of the ceremony that I think many of you have been looking forward to. It's when we invite the graduating classes up to receive a diploma and take a class photo. Now, this is logistically a little bit tricky. So what's going to happen is, I'm just going to run through it so we're all on board. You're going to be called up, and then you will come up, receive your diploma, and then you gather here behind us on stage. And then once everybody in that lot has received their diploma, you're welcome to step forward in the middle of the stage to take a photo. Okay? For our very large master group in the back, service management, you will be coming up and taking 3 photos. So there will be three groups. Yes? Very good. So we will start by welcoming up the Directors of Studies of the Department of Political Science, Jakob Gustafsson, who will present the graduating class of the Masters in Political Science. Welcome.
The most difficult part is always getting up on this stage safely when you're dressed like this. Okay, so I will call the graduates from the master's program in political science, masterprogrammet i statsvetenskap, and they are Lovisa Edvardsson, Stina Gottfredsson, Sofia Henriks, Simon Homander, Nils Karlsson, Christian Kopponen Edvardsson, Gabriel Lindgren, Kristoffer Ljunggren, Stephanie Lobos Poblete, Emmy Månsson och John Truong.
So we will keep Jakob here on stage in order to present the graduating class of the Masters of Science in European Affairs.
So this year's graduates are Franziska Bold, Lucas Demange, Marvin Funk, Johanna Granberg, Evelina Hagberg, Julie Sofie Hansen, Ketrin Jotchekova, Hata Kujrakovic, Fermin Lukanda, Tim Linder, Lovisa Lundin Ziegler, Amanda Martinsson, Denise Merske, Stephanie Scharman, Cecile Sinding, Saga Smith, Josefin Stenqvist, Julia Sundin, Johanna Svensson, Konrad Tim, Eveline Ferhar, Jelle Verhey, Marie Wallin och Sam Arne Wolli.
Congratulations. Next up is the graduating class of the Masters of Science in Sociology of Law, presented by Program Director Rustam Urinboyev. Welcome to the stage. There had to be a glitch. Just bear with me. Of course, we should not forget the Master Students of Science in Welfare Policies and Management and Program Director Thomas Bergström. Welcome to the stage.
Okay, I'm one of the founding fathers of this program, so I've seen a great number of classes making the graduation, and I'm happy to welcome all of you. Another great class, great pleasure to teach such a diverse group of students. So I call upon Sabur Ansari. She's not here. Okay, Emily Deal. Philip Gustafsson, Sara Hammar, Annette Hatembo, not here, Felix Jacobs, Jesper Johansson, Erik Jin Lung Lu, Kristina Neifelt, Hanna Olsson, Mathilde Pagnier, Inigo Perez Mugica, Annelina Shubczynska, Anna-Katarina Strauss, Ida Suni, Alfred Tilly, and finally, I can't see him, Jan Shu. Oh. Okay, some people missing from my list, but anyhow, a good enough group, and anyhow.
So for the second time today, let me welcome the Masters of Science students on Sociology of Law, presented by Program Director Rustam Urinboyev.
Thank you very much. I'm one of the members of the teaching staff in Sociology of Law Master's Program, and congratulations to our students. So let me call the names of our students. Ellie Amanda Aguilar Lowind, Elin Bankston, Linnea Berg, Pontus Blomqvist, Ismar Didic, Merle Emmerich, Linnea Fransson, Ida Froberg, Rita Gomes, Linda Hurt, Jenny Jansen, Ye Jie Ying, Asta Kisi, Alena Kachle, Sophie Carlson, Alexandra Keserich, Emma Limatta, Sif Lundberg, Johan Nilsson, Lina Olsen, Elin Persmo, Amanda Rem, Jessica Seitz, Daniela Silipigny, Lerke Winter Christiansen, Daniel Zhang.
So last but not least, we welcome back Elin Brunel as a program representative for the graduating class of the Masters of Science in Service Management. Please welcome to the stage.
Mia, Alexander, and Andrea, you are excellent because you've been surrounded by excellent people for 2 years, just like I have. I will now call the first third of these excellent people. You will come to the stage, and the rest of you will have to wait. Zunair Amir, Shakila Anyan, Fanny Antal, Shabnam Arshad, Alice Bager Sjögren, Brigitte Bearden, Mia Blatencic, Louise Borg, Andrea Budroni, Carlos Carmona, Fahim Ahmad Shodhuri, Carolina Ciotti, Laodicea da Silva Åkesson, Lisa Dolk, Fanny Esquivel, Ebba Granbom, Valdrin Haidari, Hao Si Ja, Omar Hawasli, Jue Ray, Johannes Hedström, Almina Herlin, Xu Linlin, Huang Chien, Carolina Högberg, John Jo Xu, Jin Jo Jae, We welcome the next third to the stage, starting off with Ji-Young Tue-Jen, Da-Ok Young, Maria Karagiani, Rashi Kaur, Koang Zhao Mong, Alexander Kurten, Li Xuan Yi, Lim Tse Ching, Siri Lindgren, Lu Wen Che, Lu Yen Lei, Patricia Lundgren, Hanna Melin, Mong Tue Chiu, Anna Maria Messerschmidt, Shireen Michael, Denislav Minkov, Victoria Moore, Carlson Leandri Mutaiwa, Andrea Niago, Märta Nilsson, Sara Nilsson, Peter Obenga, Ku I, Chien Wen, Sara Kvarnström, and Jens Radman. So much excellence in the same room, all of you, not only the service management students, are excellent. We call to the stage Usha Rao, Annika Rautavara, Jean Rocha, Dorothy Rono, Vildan Göksebahar Sahar, Jukka Savinen, Shen Chu Stien, Lucia Chirieko, Johanna Sjöstrand, Emmy Skogström, Kevin Sellberg, Lara Nitya Vasuthevan, Huang Yenlin Vo, Anuja Wadekar, Axel Wallinder, Alban Xafa, Cha Kai, Yao Nai Chi, Rawa Jones, Ifat Zabin, Kirill Sakharov, Denise Elsie Victoria Sakrisson, Jung Chi Yenyu, Jiang Cho-pei, Jan Hai Le, Jan Yu Ming, and Ziyu Yue.
And so we have reached the end of our graduation ceremony. I would like to take this moment to thank you all First of all, you are students, hereby named alumni of Lund University, and all our teaching staff for all of your hard work and for pushing academia forward. I would also like to take this moment to mention the administrative staff behind the scenes who have not only worked hard to support our students through their academic journey, but also put in a lot of work into making this ceremony possible and enjoyable. A special thank you to LU Conference who've made this technically possible and brought the ceremony online so that your loved ones can watch it and you can rewatch it for the next 14 days on YouTube. Oh yeah. Last but not least, I would like to thank our musicians. A big hand for them. They will shortly be closing our ceremony with some more music, and then we will be heading out of those doors for some refreshments. And in order for us all to fit and to have space to chat and enjoy, we've divided the refreshments into 2 levels. So when you come out of the front doors, all the students belonging to the last program, service management, students and friends, you're welcome to go down the stairs. Everybody else is welcome to go up the stairs. Yeah? Easy to remember. So with that being said, I would like you to thank you for today. Do keep in touch. And if you at some point decide to pursue a career in academia, please know that you're always welcome back. I hope you have enjoyed yourselves today as much as I have, and that this will stay in your memory for years to come. Thank you so much, and goodbye.